Good morning, good-looking people, and you're good-looking because you're always looking. And of course, you are finding the good in everything and in everybody. Hope you're well, hope you're great, hope you're getting ready for Sukkot, and those Sukkahs are going up. Today is a very special day. It's the 13th of Tishrei. Today marks the yahrzeit of the Rebbe Maharash. So for today, the Hayom Yom is going to talk about the Rebbe Maharash. We're going to be talking about the 22nd letter in Igros HaKodesh in Tanya. And I'm going to give you a nice background that connects with the Rebbe Maharash's birthday. And we'll talk a little bit more about the 22nd letter and how we can compare the Alter Rebbe to the current Lubavitcher Rebbe. So let's read inside and then we'll go to the connections. So for the 13th of Tishrei, this date is the anniversary of the passing of the Rebbe Maharash in 1882, and he's buried in the city of Lubavitch. The second part. The beginning and end of the 22nd letter were not printed in Igros HaKodesh in the Tanya. They were, however, printed in the journal entitled Hatamim Issue 2. So let's connect today the Rebbe Maharash, his birthday, which was Beis Iyar, and today, which is the 13th of Tishrei. First of all, the Rebbe Maharash was born in 1833 on the second day of Iyar, and that was the 17th day of the Omer. Today is the 13th of Tishrei. And over the last couple days, we've been talking about that the 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot correspond to God's name. Each day represents a different letter. And the name of God we were referring to is Yud, Hey, Vav, and Hey. So being that this is the third day, this would be the letter Vav. And why that's important is because Vav corresponds and correlates to the 6 different attributes. There's a lot of detail and complexity to all the different attributes. I'm not going to go there, but I want to keep it simple. And there are 6 different attributes, and the highest level of these attributes is the level of Tiferes. Now, Tiferes is the highest level. It also connects to Keser. I know these are concepts, but bear with me on the concept of Tiferes. Now, going back to the birth date of the Rebbe Maharash on Beis Iyar was also the 17th day of the Omer. And every day of the Omer, we read the date, and there's also different attributes that correspond to that day. And that day was Tiferes, Shibit Tiferes. And if you remember the Hayom Yom of Beis Iyar, there was a test that the Rebbe Maharash was given, and he did extremely well. And they came to the Tzemach Tzedek and they said, "What do you say about the Rebbe Maharash? He did so well on this test." And the Tzemach Tzedek responded, "He's Tiferes Shebet Tiferes. What do you expect? Of course he's going to do well." So bringing it full circle, today is Vav, the letter Vav which represents Tiferes. He was born on Beis Iyar, which was Tiferes Shebet Tiferes. So this is the connection between Beis Iyar and the 13th of Tishrei. Hope you followed that. Now, let's talk about the 22nd letter of Igros Kodesh that's in the Tanya. Really, the 22nd letter is talking about the Alter Rebbe. He was not extremely excited, if that's the right word, to be getting so many requests from Hasidim about all the material issues and financial problems that they had. He wanted his time to be spent with dealing more with spiritual things, and he was getting many, many requests about different mundane issues, different financial issues, different issues that had to do with material concerns. And in the 22nd letter of Tanya, it talks about setting certain times for these issues and not to boggle himself down. Now, the difference between the Alter Rebbe and our Lubavitcher Rebbe of recent is that the difference of how this Rebbe communicated with all the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. It didn't make a difference what the item was. He was involved with people in their businesses for different requests of their bodies, of sickness, God forbid, of shidduchim, of millions of different items, and he would stand in line and give people dollars and hear every question and every concern they had. And that was really the special quality of this Lubavitcher Rebbe, that he was more involved with everybody, and it didn't make a difference if it was a financial issue, if it was a spiritual issue. What anybody needed, this Rebbe was there. So that was what's special about the 22nd of the letter of Igros Kodesh, comparing it to the Lubavitcher Rebbe of today. Today is a special day. It is the yahrzeit of the Rebbe Marash. His neshama should have an aliyah. And again, we should rise to this level of Tiferes. Have a wonderful day. Have a great rest of the week. We'll talk more tomorrow.